Oh, look at us with the countdown and everything. Give us a chance to get this bad boy out.
I don't know why it cracks me up that Wind is just like doing post-game quotes right now.
Oh, I love it. Everybody can hear us, by the way, FYI. But yeah, it is hilarious that he's doing it. Can't wait to hear those hot takes from the post game.
It'll be the longest 30 seconds of my life here.
My God, that game. What a game.
What a life.
What a life. All right, you can cue up that music, Eric, whenever you're ready. Let's go. Vibes.
On
Eric,
10, baby.
Oh, shoot, I forgot I have to produce this on the other side here. I got to hit this button now.
There we go.
You guys remember this from back in the day when we did this? When we had this whole StreamYard thing going on, this whole from home stuff. Oh my God. What is up, everybody, and welcome to a back at home all-star edition of the DNVR show, the DNVR Nuggets podcast. So sweet. It is just like old times, isn't it, Eric?
I feel great. I feel great. The game made me feel great. Seeing you guys makes me feel great. I feel great.
We're back. Everything's all back, even the audio being weird.
That's right, yep. White noise from Eric, Harrison internet problems. I can't wait, baby. We're back.
We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You can download it right now. Use promo code DNVR when you do. I'm going to put it right there right up there up top. You can see now. I just added it, so you don't forget. I'm joined by D-Line Co.
What's up, guys? Boy, oh boy. Can you believe it's all-star time again? Holy cow.
What a game. What a game. What an all-star weekend and a classic. An instant
Let's
classic.
do it again. Let's run it back from the top.
Let's run it back immediately. Then over here, I got Brendan Vogt.
Just still shaking from that dunk contest. Just who needs caffeine when you've got Cassius Stanley?
Oh, I like that we just got a super chat for Rakia. We're at home. I actually don't have Rakia.
Yeah.
Got this white wine. Does this count?
I have the Romanian version of it. Shouts to my buddy Bogdan. It's called Zatia. Do you know Zatia? It's Rakia though. It's just the same thing.
That looks high brand. That looks like some high quality stuff.
Very fancy. He gave it to me like a year ago, so you could see how much I've been enjoying it. very, very consistent. In fact, I should bring this into the bar. I don't know why I've never thought of it till just now. All right, so we do have some stuff to talk to. I actually think there's some interesting topics that come from this, but sure. A very unusual. Eric's a believer. A very unusual all-star weekend. Typically you got Friday, you got Saturday, you got Sunday. This one was all kind of condensed into this little version. We didn't know how the game was going to go. In the last year, one of the most competitive all-star games I think we've ever had. They've implemented a few new rules, where every quarter is its own little battle, and then the final quarter you got the elam ending. None of that seemed to matter this year. It just was doomed to be a little bit off the rails. Vote. What's your big takeaway from watching it's weird to say all-star weekend, just really today, all of the events, everything that happened. What's your big takeaway?
I was glad it was another Steph Curry moment. I think I'll remember this as Steph Curry's all-star weekend, if you will. And this has been a really fun Steph Curry season. Just a reminder that this guy was one of the most exciting dudes to watch in the league, far before Kevin Durant, far before half of us decided we hate the Warriors. Just for the sake of some parody, myself included, Steph Curry rules, and his three-point contest tonight was genuinely fun stuff, I thought.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love Steph Curry. I love him. Wow. I think he's awesome, man. I don't know. This should I'm serious. Though you're right, the whole Kevin Durant thing ruined the Warriors or whatever. But Steph really is the Jokic of point guards. He's changed the game. He's unique. He's fun, and he's also pure. He's pure. It's the basketball part of Steph Curry is what is so fun, and none of the other stuff doesn't really matter. And I think it's awesome. Eric, what's your Steph Curry take?
I love Steph Curry. And what's not to love? You're right. The way that he smiles, he's got such a genuine personality. He doesn't feel like he's concocting some.
Right, maybe not quite a hot take, I guess.
Yeah, but he doesn't feel like he's concocting some personality like half of the players in the NBA are. He's just like a truly, truly gifted guy, and I don't know. It's so effortless for him, and he's he's in a place where he's able to sort of like already appreciate his place in this league, even though he's still playing. So it's cool. Yeah, I do love Steph Curry. What I didn't love was this entire charade that we just watched, but except for that Steph Curry.
Do you say charade or charade? Or was that a deliberate?
Charade was used intentionally. I would say charade, but what a great game! I just feel great, guys.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the spirit that was given to this game from the players?
Well, everyone had a smile on their face. I'll give them that for an event that apparently half of them didn't even think needed to happen. Everyone at least showed up. But last year I actually thought was marked by some, distinct level of caring and playing defense, particularly in the fourth quarter. I thought to some extent that was absent this year. All that said, Team Kevin Durant with the MVP candidate Joel Embiid, and neither of those guys played. So this was they never had a chance in this one.
It's so true, man. It is like ridiculous. One of my things I was excited about for this game was Jokic versus Embiid, and that wasn't there. And really, like Jokic just ran around this game. I mean, it was of all the players in the starting lineup, and this is sort of it's not his fault. It's the All-Star Game's a guard/wing event. Center's really what are you supposed to do out there? And Eric, I have to say, I told you so because I told you so. You said like, oh, they're all going to want to play through him because he's such a passer. I didn't even look at him.
Well, I didn't say it with like deep conviction. You asked me if I was excited to watch Jokic in this game, and I thought there was at least a chance he would be involved. But F me, right in my goddamn face.
He might as well have been Rudy Gobert or Vucevic or anybody.
Well, could you imagine, even if Embiid had been there, I mean, it would just be the two of them bouncing around awkwardly for their own respective teams. Like, no one was passing him those balls. Like, this was just like a 3-point exhibition.
Yeah, that's so true. Hey, guys, we can welcome a fourth member of the show here. The man with the wind in his hair has arrived. He's on the beat, guys. Like us, we're just clowning around, but he is chasing the lead stories. He's in the media scrums. He's getting all the juicy details. I guess we can go to it first here, Harrison, because you're fresh off of it. But you just spoke to Jokic. What? How would you describe the mood in that locker room?
Well, coming in there, I knew I had to ask the hard-hitting questions. I mean, right. I don't know if anybody's going to do it in an All-Star Game environment. I mean, I'm a capital J journalist, so I got to ask the hard-hitting questions. I want to get to the bottom of it. Where is that MVP trophy right now? I don't know if you guys saw. Giannis handed Jokic the MVP trophy after the game. Where is it? I didn't get a firm answer from Jokic, or I couldn't really understand, to be honest, but he said he was snubbed for the MVP for the second year in a row.
Strong agree. Strong agree.
I mean, I don't see any lies. So
he was a plus 23, which was almost a game high. Only Chris Paul better. Chris Paul a little bit of a ball hug in this one. But Jokic I thought was the real plus minus leader, should have been. So I agree. So wait, tell me this because I missed that part. Giannis handed Jokic the MVP.
Yeah. So I missed it too because we started up this stream, but they hand Giannis the MVP
My bad.
trophy. He hands it off to Nikola, and then kind of the shot cuts away. But yeah.
All right, guys, it's time. Conspiracy corner. We're coming in hot from the start here. Conspiracy corner. Giannis hands Jokic the MVP. I think they were dancing around together. They're really celebrating, very friendly. I see a friendship
Jokic
developing here.
I see it.
No.
Oh, what? Oh, that's
Denver. He threw you an alley-oop, Eric. You're like Zion out
that one right up. No, but in all seriousness, those guys really do seem to have a friendship. It's funny because Jokic was a goofball tonight. I'm just going to put this out there. More of a goofball than I was ready for. I think I was.
You might be too goofy for the All-Star game. I'll just say it. You might be too goofy for the All-Star game.
He might be too goofy for it, but you know what? There is, I think, a little bit of the two foreigners, Giannis and Jokic. And then they're going to be their own little goofy buddies out there and just have fun. And they're not as concerned with some of the other players about their image or whatever. So I did feel like there was a little bond. Am I reading into things here, Harrison?
Well, I asked him about the Giannis connection. I asked him if he had fun playing with Giannis, and he said they have that European connection. That's all. But he said it. They have a connection. Write it down. Keep it in the back of your mind.
Eric, did you notice a connection between Jokic and Giannis?
Oh, they love each other. The only thing is like poor Luka. He was left out. Nobody was declaring him the MVP or wanting to joke around in weird European ways with him. But those two, Giannis and Jokic, they really
because Luka turned in the most uninspiring All-Star night performance in history.
Dude,
incredible. Starting with the skills challenge, he left his warm-up.
He didn't even take off his warm-up for the skills challenge.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
He did throw that alley-oop to Jokic, though, right? Was that Doncic?
Yeah, I think it was him. Somebody's yelling at us that we need to start talking about Giannis and the game that he had. And here's my Giannis take about tonight's All-Star game. Because he was, why? And I don't know, but I do have a take on it. So he was great tonight. He was clearly the MVP. And guys, how remarkable it is that he had 35 points without missing a single shot. And it reminded me of just how crazy it is that Jokic had a 35-point game without missing a shot and a triple-double in a real game with guys trying not to let him dunk it every time. It's kind of funny when you look at it and you watch tonight. Like, I'm not trying to take away from Giannis. He obviously was the MVP of tonight. But it is funny when you think about how ridiculous this was in an All-Star game to do and then remind yourself that Jokic did this 2 years ago in an actual game.
And he didn't have to dunk the ball every time to get it.
I know. He didn't just walk into an empty lane and just grab the ball and jump up.
I'll say it, guys. I'll say it. Giannis missed 2 shots in that game. I don't know who's scorekeeping. I'm going to rewatch this game. I'm not going to rewatch this game.
You're not.
But Giannis missed 2 shots. I promise you.
The 2 threes he banked in, you're going to count as misses?
No. Well, I guess this probably doesn't count as an attempt if he never controlled it. But there were 2 alley-oops where he absolutely got a palm on the ball and just flubbed the shot. And they're not holding it against him. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Conspiracy quarter.
That's right.
We're going to have 2 conspiracy quarters
just
in one show.
Covered in tinfoil. Rewinding the tape.
That's so funny, man. Somebody did tweet out, I thought the tweet of the game that both of these coaches in tonight's game blew 3-1 leads to the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs last year. How great is that? I didn't even think of this.
Beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful. It is a little like a perfect. I wonder if Quinn Snyder it was like awkward. Quinn Snyder coaching Jokic today.
Well, he knew to close with him at least. He knew that.
He's like, Rudy, get out of there. We got to win. That's probably what was going through his head there. So, how would you grade Jokic's performance vote tonight in the game?
I mean, B-. He actually did convert on some alley-oops, a little bit of a Steph connection briefly there early on. I just don't think, and we'll talk about this more later in the show, I'm sure. But I strong agree with that, by the way. I just don't think
you're going to. I'm the one paying you too. That's my
personally, out of pocket.
Yeah. 0 is not enough, Adam.
I just don't think, guys, you're going to see Jokic look like an A- or above in an All-Star game until someone figures out how to make guys care about an All-Star game, right? He's a manipulator. And so if there are no forces to manipulate, like how many times did he slip, catch it on the roll, and turn to throw an alley-oop, and like no one was even cutting, let alone defending, and it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? It's just not his playing style.
Dude, this is a great point here by BD Sticks here. Jokic did kind of like flub of like early on in the game. Everyone's like, "Are we supposed to play defense? And what are we supposed to do here?" And Jokic did have a couple like someone's going for a dunk, steal it. And it was almost like, you don't know if you're supposed to do that or not. Keep coming in the comments. I asked what the grade was. Somebody here says an A. I think that's really controversial, if I'm being honest with you guys. I think that I love them.
Part of that is missing. The second half of this missing. He wanted to say, I would give him a C.
Give him a C.
Nice.
Is that your grade, Eric? A C? You'd give him a C?
I mean, whatever. Like Jokic, he was out there. He was bobbing around. He got the ball. He was setting screens in that he was standing next to the guy with the ball who wasn't even acknowledging that he was standing there. Nobody really wanted to play with Jokic. It was actually like pretty disheartening if you actually wanted to see Jokic make some sort of claim for the MVP of the league. It was like like the little kid trying to play with all the big kids, and like no one would would include him in their reindeer games. Like I did love it. He was just like running around. He like wasn't doing. If he got the ball, he wasn't even shooting. He was like, I know they don't want me to shoot, so he would just throw it immediately off to somebody. But where you saw him becoming too dorky, I saw him sort of like deciding that he could win the only thing he could control, which was his theatrics on the court. And so his theatrics on the court brought attention to him where nothing else actually did. So from that standpoint, I thought he did fine. But I mean, Jokic just has no place in this game. It's like like Vogt said, like Jokic's game is sort of predicated on doing the counter to whatever the resistance he's feeling is, and in that there is no resistance of any kind. Like he just doesn't quite know what to do. Like
right,
he's like, is the double coming? So I throw a pass, or I'm not supposed to shoot, right? Like we're only shooting. What am I doing? Like,
right, the computer just breaks. There's no equation.
Right, so he just like starts dancing. And what I don't know. I mainly my main takeaway again is that I cannot believe I watched this entire game.
Harrison, what's your grade for Jokic?
I'll give him a B- because he had fun. And that's the important thing. No, like Eric was saying, man.
Big participation trophy energy over here.
The All-Star game, it's built for, I don't want to say selfish players, but guys that want to get
say it. Just say it.
And okay, the All-Star game is built for selfish players.
Sure.
And Nikola Jokic is the most unselfish player in the league. Like he probably should have shot more. He only really had one possession I felt like where he really went out of the box, and that was that little Kareem skyhook. I wanted some more of those types of things from him, but he's just not
Sombor.
He's not a guy that wants to stand out in that way. So
I would have lost it if he did a Sombor in this game. That's the one thing I was really hoping he would do.
I was praying to any basketball god that would listen, it turned out to be none of them, that Jokic would be the one to take the last shot and can a three to end it. I was like, please let this happen. It did not happen. He didn't touch the ball.
Did you guys catch at the end of the half the little like him and Harden? Like I feel like Harden went to shoot a three at the end and Jokic like blocked it and kind of joked with Harden. And it seemed to me just on the broadcast, it almost seemed like Harden didn't want to joke around.
To me, that Jokic was trying to flop an offensive foul on Harden. That's what it seemed like to me. Jokic was trying to like flop on Harden, and I don't think Harden took too kindly to that.
If like the Dan Le Batard thing, like you don't get the show. If I had to pick one player in the league who doesn't get the Jokic show, James Harden might be my number one.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's a Jokic fan. Harden is.
Yeah,
do you guys?
Go ahead. I was just gonna say Harden's like, Jokic, you got to respect the game. Meanwhile, Harden has completely phoned it in until he got a trade request put through. Man, screw everything.
So do you, Eric, you made it sound like you don't think Jokic will ever have a place in the All-Star game. I don't think that's true. One of the things I was interested in tonight, I was interested in Jokic and Embiid. That didn't happen. Hopefully Embiid's safe, health and safety protocols might end up having to miss some time or what have you. I'm an Embiid fan. I know that's like controversial to say. I'm obviously more of a Jokic fan, but I just like skilled big men. You guys know this. What's that?
Are you though? I mean, you did cash out on that MVP bet, but that's all right.
I'm back in. Didn't you hear? I'm back in. I had to pay like $300 to be back in.
Seems like he's maybe more of an Embiid fan than a Jokic fan.
Oh, it's so true, guys. Like I just, I don't like too much skill. That's my thing. I like a skilled big, but not too skilled.
He needs to not know how to handle a double team. That's my speed.
You gotta really stress. That's my jam. No, but you guys have already wrecked my trade of. Oh no, Eric, you made it sound like you weren't sure if he would ever. If he would ever fit in. I was excited for this game because I wanted to see him as one of the guys, and that didn't happen this year. But do you think it'll happen eventually? Do you think this is just a process? I mean, he was more involved in this game than in years past. Do you think this is just a process, or do you think it's always just going to be like this?
I don't think he was any more involved than he's ever been. He was just on the court more.
That counts.
That's a step, baby.
I don't think that's a step. I think that he was actually like more involved in the game last year than he was this year.
Yeah, maybe. If you win in the playoffs, like if you
last year,
I'm saying if you win in the say the Jokic wins a championship, you win a championship, you kind of get to walk into the All-Star game as like, hey guys, I'm the top dog here, so here's what we're gonna do. And so I'm just saying maybe he gets to that point, or maybe just even staying at this level, guys just integrate him more. I don't know. What do you think, Harrison?
Probably not. The one way that I think he could have taken center stage tonight was if Joel Embiid was playing. And, we're all talking about, it's the first time in like 20 years where two centers are leading the MVP conversation. What if there was like all right, Embiid posts up
everyone
one
clear out. Yeah.
Jokic posts up the next possession. Then Embiid posts up the next possession. Then Jokic comes right back down and posts up. If it was like your turn, my turn, but on post ups with Jokic and Embiid, that could be the way he takes kind of center stage.
Like that Jaylen Brown on Jason Tatum ISO that no one asked for that ended in a bailout foul call.
It's so true. Yeah, it's so true. It was in the team. We're about that on the other side. Nuggets teammates maybe in the future. Take a break. Harrison, do you have your ad reads ready to go?
Yeah, I can get them ready to go.
Different
so we'll hit an ad break. On the other side, I do want to ask about Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Are they on track to become all-stars? Do we expect next year 3 times? Talk about some of the dunk that other stuff, and I'm also going to ask who had the most disappointing all-star week. Fun to find out who is the most disappointing. Break first, and we'll do that on. Got some music for him there, D-Line?
You know it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's that music. Yeah, guys, make sure to pick up some Mile High City Copper Lager from Breck Brew. I hope you had some Mile High City Copper Lager during this game because it would have made it a little more watchable for sure. It was a tough watch. But you know the beer, Mile High City Copper Lager. It's in that Nuggets Skyline blue can. You can pick it up at Breck Brew. You can pick it up at your local liquor store. Pick it up wherever. It's a great option from Breck Brew. One of my favorites to enjoy during games. Also, guys, you probably saw us wearing those Jokic for MVP shirts on the post-game show last week. You guys can pick up those shirts from the Colorado Hawks. The Colorado Hawks, if you guys don't know, a youth basketball program that prioritizes getting underprivileged kids into really competitive youth basketball. And they made these Jokic for MVP shirts. They're awesome quality. You can get them at jokicformvp.com. And it helps support a great organization, the Colorado Hawks. All proceeds from those shirts, those Jokic for MVP shirts, they go back to the Colorado Hawks organization. And like I said, the Colorado Hawks, they're a nonprofit. Their number one goal is to help fundraise for the organization, to help continue to provide opportunities for young athletes in Colorado. So check out those shirts at jokicformvp.com.
All right, so back here, guys, the DNVR Nuggets podcast, promo code DNVR at Draft Sportsbook. Don't forget to sign up. We're going to have shows for you all week. They will be live, so if you're watching this and you're used to watching us on YouTube as a show, you're going to want to subscribe to the podcast because we are also a podcast. And you want to catch all that. We'll have some guests on this week. We'll have a lot of analysis sort of previewing where the Nuggets are at. I think the Nuggets as a team, we're not going to talk about it a lot today. I think they're in a really interesting place right now. Like the most optimistic point of the season is right now. If you just look at it, at everything that's coming together, like it's starting. It feels like it's starting to come together, and I can't wait to kind of talk about all of that as we get ready for the second half of the season. But first, back to this All-Star game. I do not think in any way, shape, or form Jokic was the most disappointing player in today's game. Who do you think was, though, the most disappointing? I'll throw it up to the Millennium Falcon over here and Brennan vote first. Adjust your dials. Who was the most disappointing?
Well, without just checking the stats, I want to tell you from my heart it was either Jason Tatum or Donovan Mitchell. But those aren't the answer. Those guys aren't the answer.
There's a clear answer.
All right, do it for me, Harrison.
LeBron James?
He was
He was terrible.
LeBron has a terrible first half and then just checks himself out to start the third quarter, just hits the showers.
Can we talk about LeBron not being very good in the All-Star game? I feel like this is a trend across his career. Yeah, based off the level of him being the best player in the league. He has a couple. He does. But I think he's been the best player in the league for close to a decade. And more than once on the All-Star stage, he hasn't looked like the most dominant player. I would say that. There
was one Team LeBron starter, or I guess two Team LeBron starters in the negatives. LeBron was one, Luka was the other. And LeBron was weird in the first half. Like missed 2 layups.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like he just had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird half for LeBron.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there. He clearly did not want to be there. Yeah, I would throw another name into this ring. 2 names. Number 1, Zion Williamson. The dunk champion, the in-game dunk champion that couldn't convert any of his dunks out of the first 3 or 4.
That was tough. That was a rough look for the home.
Yeah. Very. And then also Luka Doncic, who was completely invisible. Again, like that, like bloodless, like zero effort performance that he put into the skills competition just like really set the stage for his entire participation here in this All-Star weekend. Luka didn't really want to be there either. That I did feel like players just didn't want this to happen, and it
Kawhi Leonard didn't want to be there. I mean, you're right. A lot of guys clearly did not want to be there.
Kawhi wanted nothing to do with that.
I was going to say Mike Conley didn't do anything, but it's not like I expected anything from Mike Conley in an All-Star game. So
no.
All
the Jazz sucked, which made me feel good.
I do like that James Harden was a -23. That's pretty impressive. A -23.
For Jordan, man, that's his guy.
But that's so funny, a tribute. But I do think that LeBron was especially checked out of this game or whatever. And this is what I feel like happens in an All-Star game when you talk about the stars. LeBron, Steph, Giannis, they go out there and the first like 6, 7, the first stint, they're like, see if I get it going. See if I'm in the MVP conversation. If I'm not in that first stint, boom, done. And it went out and like Giannis scored all those points. Steph Curry scored all those points. I feel like LeBron was like, all right, I'm off tonight. I'm going to go I'm going to hit the showers and take it out. So that was disappointing. Let's move on, though. Do you guys want to start dunk contest, skills challenge, or three-point contest here?
Oh, boy.
Do do any of these?
Wow.
We do. We do. We'll go dunk contest first. First of all, Anthony Simons, I actually thought had a great dunk contest. I actually thought this was a really good performance for him relative to my expectations. I had no idea he was that. I knew he was athletic, but I didn't know that dunk where he got up to the top of the square, that was an insane vertical. He got up on that. Not impressed at all?
I think more players than you think are able to do that. I think more players than you think can pull that off. But I did like what Simons did. He had some creativity to his dunks. Like the little hoop on the top of the square was creative. The kiss the rim thing, I guess, a little creative.
He didn't kiss the rim. He kissed near the rim. He kissed the rim like I kissed my girlfriend at our first dance, which was not at all.
See, it sucks that you went here. I had a real question here. This was a legitimate. I wanted everyone to answer. Have you ever chickened out on a kiss the last minute?
And recoiled.
God, Portman, you know what? Oh God. Too scared, too nervous.
I'm not ready for this. Almost, real close.
Really takes you back to middle school.
I did finally get a chance to kiss my big middle school crush one day as an adult, and I whiffed. I just missed.
What do you mean you missed?
You missed
I missed her lips. I went, it was the end of a long night in Brooklyn, but I landed a couple inches right, just kind of smashed my head into her. That was perfect.
Did you win the dunk? Did you win the dunk contest? You know
yes, I did.
All right,
I did.
That's pretty funny. I do like the people that were complaining about it because it's honestly, kissing the rim is a real freaking risk. I really high risk, low reward attempt.
Yeah, but you act like that was assigned to him. That was his concept. He didn't do it. What was it?
What he did was he demonstrated he was high enough to kiss the rim should he have wanted to do that.
Man, let me just summarize this entire dunk contest. Garbage. It was total garbage. The thing, all of these dunks that are only impressive after the fact and super slow mo. That when it happens, you're like, okay, that looks like a dunk that he shot the ball and then he caught the ball and then he dunked the ball. Wow, I've never seen such pageantry except for every dunk contest ever. There was no creativity in this dunk contest at all. Only 3 competitors. I don't even know. Obi Toppin. The funny thing was they were talking about each one of the competitors, and they're like, well, this, let's see, he's dunked 3 times here today, so that brings his NBA total up to 7. He's dunked 4 times in games. It's who are these competitors?
I also Cassius Stanley on that second dunk. You could just see he was genuinely upset with himself. That was his moment to shine on an NBA stage.
I can't believe he pulled the plug on his initial dunk so quickly and then just was I just need to get any dunk. What? No, you don't need to just get any dunk.
First time in the dunk contest, rookie, he definitely panicked on that.
Yeah, man, that was tough to watch.
I do think Cassius got robbed know, that first one
On
was
the
like
first
a great dunk, and they gave him like a 44. Then I couldn't recover from it. Like he was too.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you can't be out here kissing rims, guys. Like, come on, Eric, give the guy a break. This is what I'm saying. Eric is a really tough. He's not have any sympathy for someone who misses a kiss, including Brendan.
I
He should have
apologize.
been dunking with a mask on. Like we're being honest.
Dunk with a mask on. I'm sorry. Let me tell you a little something about myself. I like things that possess quality, and I don't like things that are garbage. And so, from that standpoint, I am a little bit of a harsh grader on this in that what we were given was garbage, but I was hoping for something that possessed quality. So that is on me. I am sorry.
Can you imagine a panel full of dunking legends throwing up 10s and an unimpressed D line with a 7? Just like Millhouse sitting
Dr.
next
J
to him,
liked
just
it,
like,
but D line, not a big
not enough
fan of it.
originality.
Well, the thing is, like the legends were all D-line level. They were all like, 6, whatever. I mean, that first Cassius dunk was the only
judges were
impressive
sitting
one.
so far away from the court. Like I don't even know how they could see what dunks were being thrown down. If I'm being honest.
It's kind of true. So it brings us though to RJ Hampton could have won this dunk contest.
I know.
And I'm kind of
was RJ.
So I want to share. I want to share screen here real quick. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. We haven't been on here for a while, guys. On this whole
we also
StreamYard
normally helps us out here.
All right, you guys can see this. This was over the summer. We got this one. Mike Miller, our guy. Dude, that dunk contest that dunk was as good as anything we saw. This is RJ working out pre-draft here. I mean, look at these hops. I feel like RJ. Why didn't RJ do it this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he would have been just as good a candidate, right? Like is he not just as qualified as like Stanley to do this? They should have done that. That's a miss. Yeah.
Stanley has played like 2 NBA minutes this year.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think the lasting image of this NBA dunk contest will be? Normally, you're like, oh man, remember when that NBA player jumped over the presenting sponsor Kia, a car? That was so impressive. Or remember when that NBA player attempted to jump over?
Oh, that's right. I don't know how I forgot this. He's in the protocol, of course. I don't know how we forgot this. It's like we go away for 1 week from this, and I completely forgot that he got entered.
Just wash our hands of it.
Denver. We purelled our hands of it all. So. I mean, is it that dumb kiss thing? Like, what are we left with?
It is definitely going to be the kiss. Going to be the thing that we remember. Only because, well, I don't think we'll remember any of it. But when people try to remind you of it, they'll be like, "Don't you remember Anthony Simons? He kind of kissed the rim, kind of, but it was pandemic, and so he didn't get too close, and also maybe."
I'll tell you what we all would have remembered if he had gone for it, smashed his mouth on the rim, and lost a tooth. We'd be talking about that for decades.
I know, right? Like that was metal.
I think RJ will be in it next year though, and I think he has a great chance of winning it because that guy, like, he'll be more athletic next year. You think about how fast he is and how high he jumps, and then think about a whole offseason of him just working even more on his body. That guy's going to he's going to win it. I'm going to make my prediction now. He wins the dunk contest next year. That is happening. The skills competition. Eric's going to hop out here for a second. Skills competition. I don't understand what the skills competition is. I feel like this is the most forced way to sell Taco Bell advertising.
Yeah, mostly because it doesn't really highlight any special skills. It's like dribbling, one pass, and a shot. Like it's pretty basic skills that are in the skills challenge.
It's not at all like I feel like they can make an actual skills challenge that does require a bunch of different things, and it's not at all this. And also, I don't know, man. Like I don't want to be the grouchy person, but I think it's very not fun.
Well, I mean, look, we have more skilled bigs than ever, but we have skilled bigs finishing late and winning these competitions because the skilled guards don't care at all. And so I don't know, is there a way where this course could be extremely competitive? And we actually are pulling from the 5 most skilled players in the league, and this is a bit of a real competition. I don't know what that looks like, but it's certainly not what we watched tonight.
almost like you could have like a combine type thing where there's like you run, like speed, like vertical, and then I don't know, but it's something you can do because this like where they kind of half-ass it through the little pylons and then you throw through the little hoop, which really is not like a basketball skill, it's just like a carnival skill. And then you just first one to make a three is really the whole competition is really first person to make a three is really what the competition is.
Yeah, I think one of the problems potentially is that it's done on just one court and you've got two guys on one court and there's just not a lot of room for stuff. Because what I would like to see is more passing kind of challenges. Like, I don't know what happened to the bounce pass. The bounce pass in the skills challenge just went away like 3 years ago. Now it's just one pass. But like a bounce pass, a longer chest pass, like a full court, one-handed Hail Mary pass. Like I'd like to see that in a part of it.
Oh, I'd like that if you had like a little trash can and you had to do the Jokic one-handed outlet into the bin or something.
Those football drills where it's like a moving target. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, those are actually somehow more fun to watch. Those like QB skill drills.
And then you have to take a charge from a moving dummy. Like I want to see all of it.
I like all of it.
Everybody withdraw.
It is weird. Like I would like All-Star Weekend to be. I want it to be great, and I don't want to be the grouchy person here, but like it's just like
fault,
it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
It's not your fault. Listen,
do you have a rant on this?
All you can do is react to what you've been given. That's all that you can do. Like it's not your fault that they give you a terrible product and then you're not entertained in a way that you feel like you should be.
Are you ranting? Is this a rant about the? Do you have a rant ready for the All-Star Weekend? Or for this one? Well, I just made a graphic that I was very excited to get to use. And
I was wondering.
I was really.
Did you add Gray into that to be spiteful?
Did you see that? It's old man Eric. We made you even older.
Old man Eric.
Old man Eric.
I do have a rant. Here's the first part of my rant. I would have enjoyed being part of the creation of that graphic. I didn't know it was happening.
The surprise factor, I had it ready.
And I got to tell you, the music a little loud for my taste, and the colors on the court. Back when I started watching basketball, things weren't so bright and vibrant. We were able to concentrate on things like the two-handed chest pass, just like Harrison was saying. And what about
fundamentals in this game?
What about an underhand shot from the free throw line? It's very fundamentally sound. No, it was a terrible, terrible game. Everything about it sucked. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, I can't believe I have to watch this entire goddamn thing because I'm expected to talk about it. Although now looking back, I didn't have to watch it. I could have come on here and been like, man, can you believe all those threes they shot? Crazy. I didn't see the defense play. Did you? That's
hey, you know what? The sequence where Paul finds Steph for an alley-oop, Steph finds Paul for an alley-oop.
That was
then
great.
Dame pulls up from half court, then Steph pulls up from half court. That was a legitimately fun sequence. Unfortunately, the night peaked out there, but like that was an all-star moment. Like that felt cool.
Yeah, the Steph Curry the Steph Curry stuff was. I mean, that was legitimately like, oh wow, that's incredible. Like nothing Giannis did was even remotely impressive.
Well, the Steph thing too, man. Like you were talking about this with Jokic a little bit, but it's like Steph actually did that in a game. Yep. The shot where he pulls up against OKC and OT from maybe 4 steps inside the half court line is my favorite play in any sport. Actually, just pull a random highlight. It's my favorite one.
It might be, man. It might be. And he had 2 of them tonight, I think. Maybe 3 of them that were just like so freaking so deep. It was crazy. We'll go to the 3-point contest. Speaking of Steph Curry, that guy, man, it really is funny because I think I like Damian Lillard. I have nothing against him. And even as a player, I enjoy watching him most of the time. But I hate when people compare him to Steph Curry just because he is similar. There's similarities to him. But Steph is like one of one, man. He is the only – in that 3-point shooting contest and the All-Star game that followed, his ability just to make threes he gets in his zone, he makes 9 in a row, and you're just like, my God, this dude. I thought the best part of the night was the 3-point competition, and it was the best part of the night for one reason: Steph Curry. Both rounds he had were just like incredible.
I'll tell you what the 3-point contest showed was just how big of a gap there is between the best shooter in the league and the second best shooter in the league. Like there were pretty good shooters in that competition. Mike Conley, been one of the best 3-point shooters in the league this season. He had a good first round. Jaylen Brown's had a good year from 3. There's some good shooters in that competition, but Steph Curry was just in another stratosphere. That was my takeaway. Like the distance between the best shooter in the league and the second best shooter in the league is huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Because the distance is the second best shooter in the league and the best shooter of all time. And they just happen to be in the league at the same time. Like that's not. It's like deeply unfair. Steph Curry is some of those shots he had tonight. When he lost the ball, scrambled back. I mean, like he again, these are all things he's actually done in games, and then just really lets it go in a way that looks like he's just trying to get rid of the ball. So because it's at the end of a shot clock, but that's just really how quickly he shoots, and he just drains it right down the middle. God,
and his shots just look prettier. Like when he got in that zone and was making like 7 in a row, it's just like the net wasn't even moving. You're just
the
like
contest
oh my
winner.
God, man.
The net didn't budge. He was like he dropped it down the back of the net. The other thing too is he stole a legitimately nice moment away from Mike Conley, who's waited his whole career to be here and really almost won that.
So sweet. God, that's so sweet. I love
it. It is like when people tell me sometimes they're like, Towns can do a lot of the passing that it's like, stop. Like, yeah, he can throw some passes from the high post, like out of the post. He can throw it the kick out. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. And Steph is the same way. Like there's going to be I hate when people did this with Jordan, when they would say, oh, there'll never be another Michael Jordan. Like guys, life is, we're 20 years past it. We're another 50 years of NBA basketball. I think somebody will come by that is like Jordan, a legitimate up to Jordan at some point.
Wait a minute.
And
what's happening in 50 years? Is that the end of the world or just the end of
That's the end of the world. So yeah, we got like 50 more years to enjoy this before it's all over. So we really got to
at this point. Yeah.
But so Steph, I think there will be at some point in time a shooter that rivals Steph, but it's going to be a while. I'd be shocked if we saw a guy that like rivaled him coming up. But that leads us to the 3-point contest, because this is where I think the Nuggets can really shine. I think they have 2 guys that should be in it: Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. And I kind of have a feeling that both of them will make an appearance before too long. Does that feel like a hot take to you, Vote?
Sorry, you're talking 3-point contest, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. MPJ is just like, I think, just from a talent standpoint, this guy is one of the all-time shooters, like ever, to pick up a basketball. Whether that manifests in him winning a 3-point contest one day or not, we'll see. But and then Jamal, when he gets hot, honestly, this is not how we think of the guy, but his peaks are Steph peaks. So there's absolutely no reason why those 2 guys can't make an appearance one day.
But do you think they will, Eric? Do you think they'll be? Do you think either one of them will be in there next year? The 3-point contest.
I can see them being in them. They have no chance of winning though. Either the way that the two of them shoot, like MPJ his shot requires too much motion. Like he rises up. It's just like too much going on with his shot to have that quick, repetitive. Like Steph Curry, it's such a quick, compact shot. Like he's able to complete it really quickly. I'm just saying, like, and Jamal Murray shoots best off the when he's coming off curls, when he's in motion. Like he doesn't really have like a great set shot.
You see these comments here?
And I'll tell you what, they don't deserve it. They don't respect the game enough. And
pragmatic Eric over here.
Pragmatic Eric. Yeah, let's go to pragmatic win for a more hot take. Do you think either one of those guys will be in it next year? And if they do it, do they how do you think they would perform?
I think they both could be in it. I think Jamal has a better shot than Eric gives him credit for. I've seen Jamal shoot a lot of threes in a lot of empty gyms during a lot of pregame warmups, and the guy doesn't miss. If you have Jamal Murray taking wide open threes without a defender, I'm telling you, I've watched him take thousands of them. He doesn't miss. Like he looks like one of the best shooters of all time with no defender in front of him. So I'm giving Jamal more of a shot on this than D-line. I do agree with Eric's take that MPJ jumps too much.
Thank you.
I do too, actually.
A top-tier threat in this competition. Incredible shooter. I think he'd have to kind of dial back his vertical on his jump.
The real question here is, do either of you agree with Dominic Vigil, who thinks that I look like Garth Brooks? Is
this is an incredible comment here. Yeah, somebody writes in, Eric, you look like Garth Brooks. And I got to say, Don't see it.
I hadn't
I
thought
don't-
about that, but
I don't see it, but maybe I'm too stuck in my dirty Larry Walker comparisons. I'm having a hard time breaking out of that.
I like this one because it's never going to happen. But Bol in the 3-point contest would be interesting. He has a too slow of a shot though. His shot is like real. He get like 3. He get through 3 racks and then time's up. Bol.
Just like double over.
I agree with you though, Harrison. Jamal, when he gets hot, like he can be Steph like he's on the short list. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Those are only 2 guys that I think I've seen get hotter than Jamal Murray in terms of sustained, staying at that level. Jamal Murray in the bubble last year, once he started getting hot, he was hot till the game ended. The only thing that cooled him off was the end of the game. And so who knows if he does do that in a shooting competition, like the 3-point competition. But if he did, curtains, baby. And then Michael Porter, I still think he's like one of the best shooters in the NBA. So I give him as good of a chance as a Joe Harris or anything. I think he could. I mean, he does jump high. You're right.
Let me know when it happens, and we can go ahead and place a very friendly wager on that.
he would just be waiting for someone to contest the shot the whole time.
No, just to raise up over them, or he would just.
I like this comment here.
Congratulate himself after every shot. Yeah, Mike, nice shot.
It's not Hartenstein in the 3-point. Hartenstein in the skills competition would be the first one to knock over the pylons.
Screen, best charge taken competition. Like, just that drill where you just in high school where coach would throw a ball out and you have to like beat somebody to it and dive on the floor.
Yeah. Everybody breaks an arm in that one.
So when you're not playing basketball,
that's the hard skills challenge.
Yeah, you know what I just realized too about the skills challenge, to go back, like the one skill that is on display the most is running. You have to run back and forth. It's like not a skill. That's not a skill. Like,
you know who should be in the skills competition? Facu. That guy would give it his all. He would be the only guy in there that's like stretching and like ready for it and just not run, like trying to get in the other guy's head.
Ask the question. Why wasn't Facu in the skills competition?
He might try to throw a no-look pass on the passing.
Oh man, can you imagine?
He accidentally contests the other guy's 3-point shot.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, let's take our last break.
All right.
Oh, go ahead. We're on a delay here.
Oh, I was just gonna say I definitely want to see. Like you have to go to a spot, you have to throw a behind the back pass, hit a target, then you have to walk calmly over to another spot and then perform another drill, which is like dribbling between the leg, the crossover challenge. Like the skills competition literally is just who can run down to one side, make a layup, and then run back to the other side, make a 3-pointer. It's a terrible competition. The NBA sucks. Let's go.
The NBA sucks. There it is. All right, let's take our last break. On the other side, though, guys, we've had a little fun. We're being a little goofy. But I want to get serious for a second and ask about Jamal Murray and about Michael Porter and their chances of making the All-Star game next year, but also for years to come, and just what maybe that means for the Nuggets. So we'll take our last break here.
Yeah, guys, you can get 20% off Green Roads products by using the code DNVR20 at greenroads.com. And if you are not familiar with Green Roads, they're an awesome CBD company. It's the #1 privately held CBD company in the U.S. They've got award-winning products, and everything they sell is really legit. Pharmacist founded, pharmacist formulated. There are actually QR codes on all Green Roads packaging, which link to independent lab test results. So, like, Green Roads products are tested, and they're the best on the market right now. So you guys can get 20% off all your CBD products from Green Roads. They've got gummies. They've got relaxing CBD chews. They've got bath
Put you to
bomb.
Sleep. What's the opposite of honking like a goose?
If you're
sleeping like a swan.
I was going to say sleeping like a sloth, but a swan. Brendan, no, you got this. Sleeping like a swan, dude.
Yeah. So head to greenroads.com, pick out your items, and then enter code DNVR20 for 20% off. Also, Strava Craft Coffee has rolled out a new offer for DNVR listeners. You guys can get 25% off.
Whoa.
25% off Strava Craft Coffee with the code DNVR25. DNVR25, that's the code. StravaCraftCoffee.com. Get your CBD pack coffee for them. Get 25% off with the code DNVR25.
And have your bank account honking like a goose.
I really like the idea that we just did the ad read for like, and if you want to sleep, we've got CBD, and if you want to be honking like a goose, we got Strava. Like literally everything that you need.
Whatever we can take you. Where
the
you
two modes,
the
duality of man.
Wherever you want to go, we can take you there.
If Vlatko doesn't garner MVP, I'm telling you, I'm a Vlatko fan. We're going to talk about him this week, but I'm becoming a Vlatko stan over here.
A Vlatkoman.
I'm a Vlatkoman. So let's talk about Jamal Murray, because I think what he did over the last month of the season, or last month that we had so far, was MVP, or I'm sorry, was playoff or All-Star game caliber. Like, I think he played better than a lot of the guards that were in this game. The problem was the problem was he hasn't been that the whole year. I'm of the belief, you can tell me if you're wrong, I think he learned a tough lesson this year. And it was one Jokic had to learn last year. And that was that you have to come into a season fully charged, fully focused, fully in shape. And we can forgive Murray. He's there now. But I have a feeling that next year is an all-star year for Jamal Murray. It's tough to be an all-star in the Western Conference and at the guard spot. There's just so many good guards. But I think he's really in that conversation next year earnestly. And I would not at all be surprised if he makes it. What do you think, Harrison?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I think he learned a lesson. I think you could tell just based off him talk to the media, based off the signals he was giving off, that his inconsistent start really aided him, especially after the playoff run that he had. But like you said, the thing about Jamal is he's always been a slow starter. And like that can't happen if you want to make an all-star game. Another path to Jamal making the all-star game is honestly if the Nuggets were to get off to a Utah Jazz-like start. Because if the Utah Jazz are even the 2 seed, do they have more than one all-star? Maybe they have 2, definitely not 3. But, that's another path to Jamal making the team.
Yeah.
What do you think, Eric?
Well, the Utah Jazz getting 3 all-stars took quite a bit of things to happen. Like there wasn't just
that is true.
Like there had to be quite a few people that dropped out.
I do like that the Utah Jazz had 3 all-stars in one of the worst all-star weekends we've ever had. I mean, I don't want to blame it all on them, but
I will if you.
But I will.
I have to.
My favorite, just because all I want to do is dunk on Utah. My other favorite thing about it is that Utah had 2 all-stars before this whole rigmarole where Conley got in, and it ended up making them look worse as a franchise. It just gave LeBron James a way to completely discount their entire existence by not selecting any of them until the very end. Oh, so sweet. Jamal Murray absolutely can make an all-star game. You could tell, he wanted to. And it's just this growing and this learning, exactly as Nikola Jokic did in these years that have led to this most recent one where he finally understood what it takes in the off season. You can't just have a seasonality to your NBA professional career. You can't just take the summer off. It's not like being a student or something. It has to be a 365-day a year job. You have to really if you're not playing, you have to be preparing. And we've talked about it ad nauseum this entire season leading up. What is wrong with the Denver Nuggets? What is wrong with Jamal Murray? And we know, he just wasn't in shape coming into the season. And all of us have given him a pass, which I'm not revoking. I totally get why he needed to take time off. But if making an all-star game, which after now watching the All-Star game, seems like a very stupid pursuit. Why the team?
Why would you want to be there?
Why would you want to be part of this charade? But if he wants it, then he has to. He's got to come into the seaon rip roaring, ready to go, and he can. He absolutely can.
I wonder too, Eric. Is it?
Go ahead.
Well, he'll overthink things. I think for coming into a season. Jamal is not necessarily just a gunner. He likes to get other guys involved. And I think some of his slow starts, we've seen this process of, do I be the point guard right now, first week of the season? Do I come out and just be myself? Has Denver unlocked something here with going forward this season, starting next season? Maybe he's off ball alongside another traditional point guard, and that alone can unlock. He can just come into the season gunning. But you guys are, of course, right. That's the difference. He starts the season out hot. I think kids, fans, they want to vote for Jamal Murray. They want to see him out there.
Yeah. I honestly just think that he has had to learn that lesson and he's at a level. I mean, Jamal Murray, the way he played these last few games, like what is it, 28 points per game or something over the last 12 games or something like that, just lights out shooting. I think he's there. And I think part of why he's there, and this is what's exciting, I think part of why he's there is because he got in better shape and came back mental, all this stuff. But also, Nuggets started playing smaller. Michael Porter went to the 4. That court got wide open. Scoring became extremely easy. And if you look at we're going to talk about this a lot more this week, but if you look at some of the best combinations of players, the 3-man pairing now of Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter is right up there with the league's best. And what's crazy about that is if you just look at the first 4 games of the season, before Michael Porter got into the health and safety protocols, that trio was terrible. That trio was horrible. So they've gone from horrible to one of the best trios in the NBA statistically in really short order. And I just think that's really encouraging. And that brings me to Michael Porter. He's further away, I think, from being an all-star. I mean, he's so talented, but I think he still has like a lot of lessons to learn. But do you project him to be an all-star, Harrison, at some point in his Denver Nuggets tenure?
Mm-hmm.
Where I am on MPJ right now compared to where I was like a month ago, it's obviously just night and day.
Totally.
Because I really think that them playing him at the 4, they've just really found something there. They've really just broke some new ground. So, yes, I think he can be an all-star, and I think there's a very good chance he is an all-star in Denver. Now, I say that, but the Nuggets would have to have probably a Jazz-like start to get 3 guys into the same game. Like, it's tough for me to see Porter at any time making it over Jamal Murray, though. That's tough. Right. So if he does make it, it's going to be all 3 of them. Can that happen? I mean, yeah. How likely is that? I don't know. The Nuggets would, like I said, need to just get off to this ridiculous start. And people would be saying, oh, the Nuggets are like on this all-time record pace for wins. You've got to have 3 guys in there. It'd have to be one of those scenarios, I think.
The Brooklyn Nets will get all-stars this year if they keep this core together. They had it this year even, but the reason they had it was because those guys have a reputation. And I think with Denver, Utah does not have a reputation. In fact, they have a bad reputation. So the fact that they got 3 in, but only because of these circumstances, I think their record could only carry them so much because I think people, even coaches, are like, yeah, but it's the Utah Jazz. They haven't really proven anything yet. And they even stumbled into the All-Star break. But I do feel like if you win in the playoffs, if you go deep into the playoffs, and when I say deep, not even the West, Denver made the Western Conference Finals last year. That elevated a little bit of the profile. But you go to the finals or you win a championship, that's when it's just like, no, these guys are good. Like, of course we're putting them in. They don't even have to be, they don't have to be a historic win pace. They can just be a 1 or 2 seed. And you're like, no, those 3 guys, we know it. They're champions.
You're getting Draymond all-star appearances, right? You don't even have to shoot the ball. You're in. Yeah.
Totally. So I think that's what it would take. But I'm telling you, I like our guy Duran. Somebody in the comments here, Donovan Duran Sr. He says, "Nuggets Nation, we're going to see our first ever NBA champion this year. Baby. Mark my words." And who agrees with him? 538. They agree with him. The model that's usually low on the Nuggets.
It's crazy. This is the year.
The craziest thing about the 538 model, if you guys don't know, 538 is like a statistics website. There's some sports stuff over there, and they have a model that projects how teams will do. They've always been a little low on Denver. Just like you're always like, oh, but look at them, they're playing so well. This year they're so high, and they've in fact higher than anybody else in the NBA. They have them as the title favorites, and it's so wild to see. I don't see it. We'll talk about this more throughout the week. Possible, but there's just a lot of positive signs they're going in the right direction, and I think that's what's so exciting. So before we get out of here, any other final all-star takes from you guys that you really want to fire off? You can cue up that outro music, Eric, if you know what it is.
Okay.
Can we break this down into multiple, like a tournament? Can this be like 3-on-3? There's a pool of all-stars, and we're splitting up into different teams of 3, and we play to whatever. And I just want to see if that's a way to get more guys involved. Guys like Jokic can have a better impact, can get involved. And if it ends up kind of being more fun than just watching these groups of people not care against each other.
That will never replace the All-Star game. But one of my ideas is a 2-on-2 event. A 2-on-2 event where everybody at All-Star Weekend just picks, it's kind of like a draft style type thing where everybody picks their partner. 2-on-2 tournament.
Why not one-on-one? One-on-one's the best. And they always say, like, because there's not enough money. But if you did get a sponsor and you could afford to pay the winner $1 million, don't you feel like the big names would get, at least some big names would get into this, that it'd be interesting?
Yeah, I think $1 million would get some big names in. Not the biggest names. The biggest names still wouldn't be in it, but I bet you could get like a Jamal Murray in there.
There you go. You know what?
Getting
Jamal Murray into the All-Star game will give Jokic a better chance to shine, because then those two will play the two-man game and it'll be beautiful. Maybe that's the key. Eric, any departing thoughts you want to share here?
Unfortunately, the term All-Star carries way too much weight. It determines whether or not you are a worthy player in this league. But really what it boils down to is that when you watch this game, like I just wish that players could be deemed all-stars and then we could be spared from this debacle that we're forced to watch every year. Like, I don't even know the point of the All-Star game.
So you want rising stars style, you just get named to the team and then
and then we can say forevermore Jamal Murray all-star, and then we don't have to sit through watching this terrible game. Like, I would be fine with that. I didn't enjoy any part of this except for your company, the three of you.
My God.
This really made it all worth it. We could break it down. But during the game, I was quite miserable.
Well, there you go. Thank you guys for joining in Eric's misery here and riding with us. Like I said, all week we're going to have some shows. They won't all be live on YouTube, I don't believe. We will be in studio, I think, a couple times this week. So you want to subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. We will be having some really in-depth analysis of the Nuggets. This season has been so fast. We haven't really been able to dig so much into what's going on with them. And I can't wait to do that throughout this week. So subscribe to the DNVR Nuggets podcast. We'll see everybody next time. Adios.